Boom.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another session of Masks of Nyarlathotep. 25 sessions at this point, guys. We're coming up on a year. It'll be a year in June that we've been doing this.
Really?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Damn, dude.
Jesus.
Man, how the time flies. As always, I'm your keeper of secrets, Jack. Today I'm joined by the full cast. Jared and Matt will be here later, but as always, I've got Graydon, I've got Eric, I've got Peter, I've got Evan, and we're really happy that thousands of you tuned in instead of watching the potential finale of Critical Role tonight.
Boring.
That was really nice
tonight.
That happening?
No one knows. No one knows if tonight's the last episode or not. It seems to be wrapping up really quickly.
Really catch up.
We're going to be announcing here at the end of the stream, so make sure to tune in.
Yeah. My running theory is that since they're pre-recording episodes due to COVID, my theory is that last week when they filmed the episode, Matt TPK'd them. Because they're like really getting the wheels spinning to like wrap this up really quickly. It seems very abrupt. So that's my theory. And speaking of TPKs, we're going to play some more Call of Cthulhu. So, last time we left off, you guys had absconded from England after a botched rescue mission of the heiress of the Vane name. What's her fucking name? Lawrence's sister. Eloise Vane. That's what I was thinking.
I wasn't sure what campaign I was thinking of with that name.
Anyways, Eloise got shot in the face a lot. Now she's dead, which forced you all to flee England. Before doing so, you made your way back to Richard's house, where you hid your criminal in arms, Clyde. Upon buying some tickets to escape England to Egypt, Inspector James Barrington met up with your comrade, Richard, and gave him a bit of a shakedown, learned a few things before you journeyed off to sunny Egypt. And that's where we start today's session. It is February 22nd, 1925, and you all are disembarking at Port Said, which is the main port, sort of on the northern end, the northern side of Egypt, along the Nile Delta. Before we jump in today, this seems as good a place as any to sort of have a little bit of a roundtable discussion and see what do you guys think is going on? Where do you think the campaign's going to go from here now that you've made it to your fourth location, if we include Peru? And how do you think things are going so far?
Probably not good.
I don't know, honestly.
We haven't learned much, I feel like.
Pip's learned he's with a group of weird people.
We got a while to get to Cairo.
In England, we started the main quest, then we started doing side quests, but then we fucked up in the middle of the side quest, so we never got to finish and like learn important things that would have probably have helped us in Egypt. So I kind of feel like we're in a weird spot where we're almost got to be like, all right, let's find a new lead and hope that helps. So we'll see what happens there. But Egypt,
we don't really have a place to go right now.
Egypt and what was the other big location?
New York?
No.
Australia.
Oh, Shanghai.
Yeah, Australia and Shanghai. I forgot about Shanghai.
Oh, we're going to Australia?
Yeah.
Mike, you have clues pointing you to Kenya, Australia, and yes, Shanghai at the moment.
Kanye?
Yeah, you got it. Kanye.
It's just...
Or Kim.
Well, Kenya is where I think everything's going down. That's the epicenter of all our problems, so I don't want to go there quite yet.
Right. Well, the good news is you don't have to go anywhere just yet. You're in Egypt, so maybe you're right. Maybe it's time to pick up some leads and see what happens from here. As a reminder, since the handouts section is a little bit messy, and I'm kind of thinking about maybe redoing it in some capacity, but as it stands, you have a few clues in Egypt. You have a letter which you found in New York, which was dated March 3rd, 1919. It was sent from Cairo, Egypt. It was sent to one Roger Carlyle from someone named Warren Bessart. That was sent on October 1st of last year. So if you want to go through the handout section and find that, I think that's the first clue you found, which definitively points to somewhere in Egypt. Yeah, that's the only one you've got that early on. You know that at some point, there's not a handout for it, but you know that at some point Jackson Elias was in Egypt. And you have the one page from the book that you found in the Penhew Foundation, which seems to detail something regarding Egypt. That was sent on December 3rd of last year. Then you also have the telegram that you found in the Penhew Foundation's basement, I believe, which I sent January 28th of this year. So you've got those 3 or 4 clues to go off of at the moment. So I'll just to give you guys a heads up, because I know that the handout section, it's not as, intuitive as me like handing you a piece of paper in real life. But we must make do in these times. But you all disembark the boat, and the easiest way to get to Cairo from Port Said is to hop on a train.
Well, I'd say let's just do that then.
Okay. So, as you all disembark in Egypt, it's a bit of a culture shock for all of you. There are, a very busy port, a desert landscape, and sort of the verdant Nile stretching out before you. Pip, you have never been anywhere like this before. The rest of you have probably never really been anywhere quite like this either. Very busy port, and you all get on a train bound for Cairo. And as it rides off into the day, a young woman sits down to all of you. Evan, if you would like to introduce your new character.
Well, howdy. How are y'all doing today?
Just fine. Can I help? Can I help you?
Yes, I was looking for the stable.
The stable.
Yeah,
You're where?
the
You're on a
stable.
train, miss.
Well, I mean the stable and the place that we're headed to, miss.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Ruth. What's your name?
My name is Peyton.
Peyton. Well,
Yes.
what brings you here, Peyton? Why are you looking for a stable? I take it you're off somewhere or looking for something?
I'm looking for work. If you must know, I've been looking for work for quite some time now, and it just happened to know I'm a rancher, and it just so happened that this stable here, where we're headed on the train, has an opening for a rancher. So I came from North America. I'm here now.
North America. an awful big place. Where specifically?
Awfully large.
Where specifically do you come from?
From the south, silly.
South of North America.
No. From the south. From the deep south.
Oh, I see.
Tennessee. Where else?
I feel like Harrison should speak up and deliver the 10 icy line right now.
God. Well, Harrison's finishing up his shift at the store he works at,
Hmm.
so he'll be here shortly, I'm sure.
Well, ma'am, we're new here ourselves and have no idea about a stable.
Well, where are y'all headed?
Well, right
That's a
now
good question.
we're just going to visit Cairo. We're gonna find a hotel and make a plan from there.
Is it the museum?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I did want to talk to you about that. Good point, Ruth. Did you guys book a hotel in advance? We didn't talk about that last time, but it is something you can do if you want, since I didn't mention it. It's something that we can talk about now.
I guess. Save us some time.
Yeah.
So again, might as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to know what kind of hotel you're staying in. Are you staying in a nice hotel? Are you staying in an average hotel? Are you staying? I'm assuming it's courtesy of the Jesse Hughes Fund.
Well, that's how we're paid
First
for
and foremost.
the ticket, so I assume
ticket.
it'd all be a lump
Exactly.
sum. Yeah.
Well, you have to be charged per night stayed at the hotels and things. So I'll keep track of
Okay.
every night that you're here.
Maybe we should just rent a truck again.
We don't have to live in the truck though.
And we're just there to sleep.
This is Egypt. We get camels.
No.
I don't know.
You remember what happened to the trucks in Raiders of the Lost Ark? All the trucks in Cairo blew up.
True.
So
Is it weird my head went to the Mummy instead of Raiders of the Lost Ark?
no, not at all. I love the
No.
Mummy.
Yeah, great movie.
It's been so long since I saw the first one.
Saw it on
So-
Netflix recently.
Is this... We're in, like, the time period where the Mummy's... Is Brendan Fraser here?
Back on the
We can find out.
It takes place in the Mummy universe.
Yeah.
Crossover.
Wet my
Yep.
britches.
Hidden side quest.
All right.
I hear Peyton, but I don't see her.
John Cena.
My britches will be wet.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. So I do need to know if you're gonna book yourselves into a luxury hotel, a good hotel, a shitty hotel, an average hotel.
I like average.
You like
I like
average?
luxury.
We don't need a luxury hotel, Pip. Pip, a
Or
normal
luxury.
hotel will be fine for you.
Pip's been sleeping in
Luxury.
the dirt all his life.
That's why an average one will be just
Luxury.
fine for him.
I think if Richard were here right now, Richard would also want to stay in a luxury hotel.
Yeah, but he's not here.
That's why
Yep.
I'm saying it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna act as the
God damn
voice
it.
of Richard while it's on the table. So Richard wants to stay in a luxury hotel, and Pip wants to stay in a luxury hotel. So that's 2 for luxury.
I'm
Didn't,
good with
um,
average.
Didn't Richard get some info out of that guy he tortured? Is there anything important there that we need to remember?
I don't think he got anything out of him.
I think you just
um,
got the fact that he worked for
I think
Oh, the
he-
Penhew
yeah,
Foundation.
Yeah,
he'd been
Got it,
sent.
got it.
He was sent by Edward Gavigan, I think, is the only
Yeah.
information he was able to get.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Didn't we already know that as well before torturing the man?
No.
That was
Okay.
the theory.
Richard
Okay.
just hunted down 2 people that just so happened to be on his property.
As a patriot does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As a good American,
For the Queen.
just
Yes.
doing his
King.
King, right? Yeah.
constitutional right.
So we got 2 votes for average. We got 2 votes for luxury.
Where are you staying? I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
My name is Peyton, sweetie.
Apologies, Peyton. Where are you staying?
Oh, well, I'm staying at the stable. Sorry, it's going to take me a while to not laugh when I talk.
You, Clyde, make a psychology roll for me.
All right. Oh, baby.
A triple?
I failed.
It was a little slow
Major
there.
fail.
Yeah, Peyton seems like a southerner.
Well, perhaps we could stay at the stable and make some for some free board for some cheap chores.
Clyde,
I'm sure they would love to have
Nope.
the extra hands around your stable.
Pip, it'll be good for you. Build some character.
You don't know.
Peyton, while we
I-
appreciate the sentiment, Clyde, I thought we agreed on an average place, not a stable.
You're right, Ruth. I'm just cheap.
Man, I cannot imagine living the life that you do. Just flying by the seat of your pants. Traveling the world with a young boy. Excuse me, young boy. Where do you come from?
Oh, fuck, what's the town?
Lesser Adale is the name of the
Call
town.
Lesser Dale. He doesn't know about the A part in there. He just has always called it Lesser Dale.
Oh my. Where's that located? I can't pinpoint your accent.
London.
London. Ontario or Britain?
It's in the country of London.
Ah. Well, all right then. What's a young boy from Lesser Dale doing with a nice lady and obvious New York native? Why are you across the world with a young boy?
At this point, Richard's going to speak up and slap a hand across Pip's chest. He's with me.
That's
That's
right.
what Richard sounds like.
This is my new pa.
Oh, I'm so terribly sorry to hear that. Of course, not for you, sir. It's wonderful news to have a new family member, but I'm so sorry for your loss, little boy. It was.
I never said anything about a loss.
Oh, sweetie, you don't have to. Let me see what I got in my bag that I might be able to give you to help get over this. I pull out a little candy and I give it to Pip.
Butterscotch.
Yeah.
Sorry, your parents are dead. Here's a Werther's original.
It's all good.
Thanks.
All right.
Do we all have to stay in the same hotel?
No, not necessarily.
That doesn't seem very good for teamwork, though.
Pip's like, Richard, put it on the tab.
I don't know
Just
what
saying.
money
Okay.
is.
Fine. If
You guys got.
if you guys want to go to
you guys
luxury,
have-
I can agree to a
You
luxury.
got, yeah. You guys have $46,000 left in the Jesse Hughes fund.
Yeah, I know, but we don't need to spend
Could
it.
be unnecessarily. Like there'll come a time where we need to like go deep into the bush and we need to rent some trucks or like an escort or something, and we'll have like $100 left.
Clyde, make Clyde, make an intelligence roll for me.
I'm intelligent.
We all tell ourselves that.
Success.
Not all of us.
You know from living in New York and kind of being raised by the mean streets, Clyde, that higher quality hotels can often have high quality services like really good concierges that can point you in the right direction or like help you with any services that you might need. Whereas shittier hotels will not do that for you.
Well, I mean, in terms of access and knowledge, we probably learn more about the city with a nicer hotel.
How long would we end up being in Cairo?
Who knows, Pip?
Oh, it might just be a few nights.
It's possible. How much is a night in a luxury hotel?
We'll find out.
Lovely.
All right. So, as you all roll into Cairo, you are left at the central station. Disembarking from the train is a very bustling sort of station with multiple trains sort of docked in there at the moment. I think the rail line extends further south into Egypt, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. And you can see the hustle and bustle of people of a very different culture from you that you don't recognize. The train ride took a good portion of the day. If you got into town sort of early morning, or if you got into Egypt early morning, you're probably looking at around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. But yes, there is a large hustle and bustle around you, and you hear people speaking a language that you do not understand. No, you hear multiple languages that you don't understand, and maybe a few odd comments in English, but for the most part, you are fish out of water in this place.
Well, oh my, this is quite a shock, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, it's not as crowded as New York, but I don't understand people just as much.
Well, Peyton.
Ruth, do you got the map to the hotel?
Yes. Let's say I do.
Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you guys were kind of arguing out of character. So if you've already booked the hotel, give me a moment here.
I mean, it's Egypt. What's the exchange rate like? I mean, American dollars probably go for pretty good, right?
It's on the Egyptian piastre, I believe is how it's pronounced, which is the same as the British pound because Egypt was a colony.
Yeah.
So 1 piastre is equal to 5 American dollars.
Thank you.
So, would you like to stay at Shepard's Hotel or the Semiramis Hotel? It makes absolutely no difference.
Separate.
Well, you bet your ass we're gonna argue about it.
I say
Let's do the one that I don't understand.
which one?
The Shamaramis or whatever.
Shamaramis. Shamaramis it is. Shambhala. All right. Who's going to try and find their way through the streets of a town they've never been to before?
Well,
I
because
would say this is the time that we should part ways, but to be honest, I don't know where I'm going, and I'm a little bit scared. Would you mind if I came with you to your hotel and found my way from there?
You're more than welcome there, Peyton. It's always good to have familiar face around.
Wonderful.
because the hotel's on the map, can we say we know how to get there?
You don't actually have that map, is the
Okay.
thing. You don't have a map of Cairo. That's for your reference as a player.
Okay, so then assuming we come off the dock, I assume there's somewhere obvious that's touristy or would have a map or
Let's
something.
see. Let's see. Central Station.
I don't know what the tourism is like in the 1920s.
If it's a colony of Britain at the time, wouldn't there be a bunch of English speakers there too? At the train station?
At this point, England has actually ceded most of the political power to the new Egyptian government. So there's still a lot of people speaking English, but you'd probably have to look for them.
Man, Britain really fucked it up for everyone else across the world, didn't they?
They certainly did. This is their defining feature. So the book says that the train station is around number 5 on the map, which is sort of the main gardens in downtown. So I would say, oh no, it's number 1. Number 1 on the map. So I would say either give me whoever's leading this, give me either a navigation roll to find the hotel, or give me a spot hidden roll to try and find somebody who can point you in the right direction and speaks English.
I'll roll. I'll do spot hidden.
Okay.
That is a normal success.
Normal success. Okay. So, Ruth, you do find a fairly well-dressed gentleman with a luxuriant mustache and a bit of a suit who definitely looks like a British gentleman who may be able to point you in the correct direction.
Good day, sir. Do you speak English?
What's it? Yeah. Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, lovely to see. It's always a pleasure to find another English speaker in a place such as this.
Ah, of course. What would you like?
We are looking for the Semiramis Hotel. Do you perhaps know where that is?
Oh, yes. Follow all the way down this street here, and it's down the waterfront along the river. You can't miss it.
Oh, you're too kind. Thank you so much.
Of course. And he
Hold on,
toddles
did
off.
Matt and Jared join at the exact same time, or am I tripping?
Yeah, no, they
Matt's
did.
been here for a couple minutes, hasn't he?
I thought he just joined, but
No,
maybe I
Matt's been
missed-
here for a bit.
No, I just
Okay.
Yes.
wasn't paying
You
No,
attention.
I've been in the call for like 5 minutes. I only laughed hysterically after unmuting myself because I heard Evan speaking. I didn't know who it was.
He's a delightful Southern belle.
No, I don't know. Maybe the Discord layout did something weird, but no, I've been in the chat for a while already.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through like the handouts and stuff, so I that's probably why I didn't notice.
Excellent. Jared, welcome.
Thank you.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Excellent. You just made it to Cairo.
Did we find any mummies yet?
Why is the skeleton's crotch emitting light?
Because
it's
it is a holy nuts.
It is a holy nuts. Truer words never
There was-
spoken.
There was, my brain was going with a different train of thought, and we ended up at holy nuts. So that's
It
just
works.
All right. So it is mid-afternoon. Oh, by the way, Jared, meet Evan's new character, Peyton. She is a lovely lady from Tennessee.
Can I hear the accent?
It's lovely to meet you. Shit, I butchered that. Still working. It's gonna get off every so often, but I'll do my best.
All right. So you all begin making your way down to the waterfront, where eventually, after I'd say about 40 minutes or so of walking, I don't know how long it takes to walk around Cairo. Maybe longer than that, but you've been given directions. You'll make it to the Samaramis Hotel. Very opulent building with a courtyard out front, palm trees swaying in the on the shorelines of the Nile River. And
Jared, sorry, Jack. I just want to say that I advocated thoroughly for us to be in a luxury hotel, so that's why we're at.
Excellent.
And you're
My
paying for it.
face looks really dark. Like my one eye looks like I have one of those glasses that has the black lens on it.
mhm, it does.
Super villain Jared.
Yeah.
Oh my light. Oh no, they're not dead. Okay, is that better?
So
No, not really. I'm just evil.
you all make your way to the Samaramis Hotel, and you can check into your rooms if you so wish.
How are we? Did we ever like? Are we getting like a penthouse suite, or like how are we doing rooms? Are we splitting?
I don't think suites exist at this point. You could probably do it so that like you could probably pair up like two people to a room. 2 to 3 people to a room if you're being really frugal about it.
Oh my, was this ever lovely? Oh, I would just be head over heels if I could stay with you tonight. I haven't stayed in anything this nice in my whole life.
Well, I wouldn't be much of a gentleman doctor if I didn't let you stay with me.
Perhaps the girls should room together, Richard. I mean, you have Pip to take care of.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Thank you, Clyde.
I'll get my own room. Yeah.
Pip,
Harrison and I will room together, I suppose.
you wanted the luxury place. You don't get your own room. Sorry, Pip.
Don't worry, we will get a nice room.
Peyton, I'd be happy to room with you for the night.
So, and I don't believe I got your name.
Mine? Oh, Richard.
Well, anyone's name. I know Pip, but I don't know anybody else.
I thought you were talking about Ruth. I was like waiting for Peter to say something.
Peyton, I introduced myself to you on the train.
That's true.
No. You know what? I'm not usually this silly. I just was I've just
Travel.
It's just a lot to take in at once.
Travel will do that to you.
Yeah, it will. I'm so sorry, Ruth. I apologize. Here, have a candy.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Peyton. Really, don't worry about it.
Oh, she gets the candy.
And my name, Peyton, is Richard Mason.
Oh, so humble, Richard. You didn't
Nice.
put doctor in front of it.
Oh, I don't need to be announcing my title around everywhere.
Oh my,
Thank you.
doctor.
Hello, Peyton. My name is Harrison Dodge, but I'm sure you know me already as the famous author of great books such as You'll Never Believe What We Saw Down There and Requiem for a Yeti. You read any of my books before, sweetheart?
No, sugar. The only book I've ever read is Tom Sawyer.
I was expecting the Bible.
That's exactly
So
what
was
I was saying.
yeah.
I was also expecting the Bible.
Tom Sawyer.
It's the Southern Bible.
Oh, by the way, Matt, on your behalf, when Peyton first introduced herself and said she was from Tennessee, I said that you blurted out you're the only 10 I see.
Okay. Hey, thank you for doing that. That makes a lot of sense. Also, my connection, like my data got really bad, so I didn't hear Peyton's response. So I'm just gonna imagine that it was, oh my lord, Harrison Dodge, I'm the biggest fan.
That's demeaning to Peyton.
And to that I say thank you so much, Peyton. You're such a sweetheart. I look forward to getting to know you better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I turned to Ruth. Is this fella always like that?
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have an off switch in that sense.
I see. Well,
Well, Ruth, if you allowed me to take him into my labs, I'm sure we could find an off switch.
For Harrison.
Yes.
Wow.
fucking Christ. Calm down, boys. Calm down.
All right.
Back off.
I wasn't talking about you. I'm talking about turning Harrison off.
So you all approach the front desk, and you do have reservations scheduled in. Oh, she's beautiful.
Why
I
does she
like
have a
that that
sombrero on?
rests like on top of her head. It doesn't like fit on her head.
That's how you wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Down south.
It's like Peach's crown.
So your bags are brought up to your rooms. For 6 of you, you've got 3 rooms. So each room will cost you 30 American dollars a night.
What's the high end room?
Ugh.
That is the high-end room.
Oh.
But that's what that's what staying in a luxurious hotel
Well,
costs.
I figured a
night.
luxurious hotel would also have like a suite for like a
I don't
higher
know. I don't know if that existed.
Now
in
give me
in
the
20s.
real luxury number. Come on. Not
I
that
don't-
fucking chump shit.
That's a good question. I don't even know if it would either.
Yeah.
I think
Google.
especially over somewhere like Egypt during this time, it'd probably just be like a hotel with all the same rooms.
Yeah. That's kind of what my head's at.
I tried to
didn't even-
Google it, but I didn't see anything.
You guys didn't even bat an eye. I'm like, that's going to cost you 90 American
I
dollars
batted
every,
an eye.
every day you're here.
That's absolutely insane.
I don't understand what
Yeah,
money
Pip
is really.
doesn't understand
so.
money. Richard's rich.
I'm basically Pip's bank right now.
If you want to pay out of your own pocket, that's encouraged, actually.
I'm gonna give Pip.
Oh my god.
Pip, we're gonna teach you how to handle money. Because if you're going to live with me in my house, we need to definitely teach you some of these things. So, I'm gonna give Pip $400, and Pip
What?
can do what he.
Wait, you can't do what? This is a
Jesus.
mistake.
Right.
This is
I'm curious how.
Hold the fucking phone.
I'm gonna teach my kids about money. Here's $1,000 with no restrictions on how to spend it.
No. It has to be spent on essentials only.
You just gave him $5,500.
The inflation calculator I used says $6,100.
Whatever. It's still just. That's probably more accurate because I just googled.
That's in your
1920s
assets.
and-
That's in your assets, not your like cash. I don't
Yeah.
know what your cash and spending level would be.
It's not great.
How did you did you just pull $400 like out of your pocket?
Do you
out
have
of your
a
wallet?
small gold bar hidden up your
No,
asshole?
out of my assets. I'm gonna find a bank place and give it to him. He wouldn't have it right away, but I'm going to. That was just my
We're
plan.
gonna make a
not
savings
even-
account for Pip.
And that's what it's for.
Send him to
Savings.
college.
You're gonna go to do a med degree like me.
I don't know
Jesus Christ.
why are you making
It's like
yourself
Great
a
Expectations.
parental figure to Pip. He's just gonna lose
There's even-
another important
there's
person in his
even,
life eventually.
There's even a if he's gonna follow directly in my footsteps, he's also got to go into the military, and there happens to be a war that comes up in the couple of like 30
Spoiler
years.
alert!
Could you imagine like Richard can see 14 years in the future? It's like I'm sure there's gonna be another great conflict.
I'm gonna send my son, my adopted son, there.
I've got a good feeling about
He
1939.
needs to prove himself.
Anyway,
He starts calling it World War II. Everyone else is just like, or he starts calling it the First World War, World War One. They're just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you mean? What?
You weren't there. I know that there's gonna be more after what I saw there.
Oh. Okay. So you are all seen into your rooms. You're given very nice lodgings here in Cairo, and it's getting a little bit later at this point. I'd say it's probably early evening. Would you care to do anything?
Well,
Is
I'd
there?
like to go to the bank and transfer assets to.
Yes, you can do
Yeah.
that.
You have to open an account for Pip because he probably didn't have one.
All right, I open an account for Pip.
You need his birth
It's an advice.
certificate.
It's a parental controlled account for Pip.
what? Never mind. I'm not gonna contribute to that conversation. Well, I say we either make a plan for what we're gonna do, or perhaps explore the surrounding area to get a better scope of the land.
That's a good idea. All I really know is that the crates that we found beneath the Penhu Foundation were destined for the Cairo Museum.
Rayla?
What?
Is that your mistress? What female's name is? Richard? What are you talking about?
Oh, Grain just sounded like Rayla instead of Clyde.
Hey, oh, hey.
Better.
Wanna go to the museum, eh?
Well, the lead.
I marked a box with an X or some Cthulhu
Oh,
face
yeah,
or some tentacle shit. I don't know.
Well, personally, I think we should start by maybe looking for information on the Carlisle expedition and what they did in Egypt. Because as we know, they were here and they found something that they didn't want to talk about. And perhaps mention Jackson Elias. Maybe that can get us a little bit of a starting point to see what he was on to and what the strings we can grasp for that, the threads.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, from my experience with your crew, anytime we mention Jackson Elias, we find something, whether it's danger or leads.
You know, Richard, I think by now you're part of the crew. You can say our crew, not your crew.
I don't know. I feel like Clyde's still trying to make me wear that gosh darn mask that he always keeps throwing my way.
I don't think we have that mask anymore. Or do we?
You would have brought it with you. Yeah.
Okay.
It was at Richard's house. I mean, I hope you brought it with you.
Yeah. I'm just
Back
saying.
to London.
I'm just saying.
Sounds...
You won't really know until you wear the mask or until something bad happens. That's
This
all
all
I'm saying.
sounds so exciting.
Oh, hey, Peyton.
Why? We're I can't help but want to come along with you on whatever it is you're planning. This Penhu Carlisle Jackson sounds like a nice fella.
What about the stables? You traveled all the
The
way
ranch
here.
from North America.
Southern North America.
I've never had much money, and if I'm being honest, I saw the ad in the newspaper. I didn't even apply for it. I just thought I'd show up on their doorstep and get the job, but I might not even get the job. My daddy always said I was a screw up. Oh,
No,
why am
Peyton.
I here in Cairo?
No, it's okay. I'm sure Richard could use an assistant. He'll pay you handsomely.
Well, Peyton, what could you bring to the group?
Oh no, I'm not good at these interviews on the spot, Ruth.
Well, our group deals with a lot of high tension situations that we're not always expecting. If you want to travel with us, you need to be prepared for such things.
You know, there was a situation once when we had to get the cattle across the farm and bring them down the road to old Johnson's house. And one of the calves went off running, so my daddy said to go after them and get that calf and bring it back to the rest of the group. You say you have some high stress situations. Well, it was quite a high stress situation when that cattle ran off a cliff and died on impact. And I didn't know what to tell my daddy, so I ended up going to the nearby farm, and I found a I found a young donkey and I tried to pass it off as the young calf and it didn't work. But I think so. I don't know what I'm trying to say with that story, but I do think that it was great thinking under a stressful situation.
No, actually, I think that provides a lot of value because you
It's into cattle wrestling. It's like you'll fit right in with the rest of us criminals.
you didn't have a lot to work with, and you made it work. That's
Very resourceful.
Well, I had one thing I had in my pocket as I had my lasso Gertie, and I'm not very good with it. So when I tried to get the calf, I kept missing, and I did lie before. The calf did not run off the cliff and hit the ground and die. I have a little bit of a tendency to stretch the truth. What really happened was I got the lasso around its neck right as it went off the cliff, and let's just say I had to lose a little bit of Gertie that day.
What?
Well, that is riveting. You hung the pig off the cliff.
I thought it was a cow.
I couldn't really follow, Pip. It's a good thing.
So, anyways, that's about it. That's all I got for you there, Ruth. I'm sorry, I'm just not good in these situations.
you know it's. I don't know what to say, Peyton. I did not expect that story.
No. Welcome to the crew.
Yeah.
If I might interject, I actually think there's a lot of meaning in Peyton's story because,
Oh
you know,
God,
Peyton's
the
saying
writer.
that she killed, you know, she caused a calf to die and immediately replaced it with something else so that something else can join the crew. Kind of sounds like a fitting story for what we've gone through so far. So, Peyton, I think you're meant to join us, and I'm really glad that you're here.
Well, why? Thank you, Sugar. I really appreciate that. Now let's talk
Sorry,
about.
what did you call me again?
Let's talk about pay. I know my daddy always told me never accept a new job without discussing pay on the spot. How much would you be willing to pay me to be a part of your little group here?
Now, Peyton, we're more treasure hunters in a sense. We get paid when we find something.
Well, ain't that exciting?
Yes.
Is that
So
fine with
there's
you?
no regular salary or anything
Then I'll take 50%.
of what we find.
Absolutely.
It's a deal.
Pip,
Pip, you haven't learned. You haven't. Pip, maybe you should.
Richard, this is why you don't just hand him money because it means nothing to him anymore.
Pip, this is one situation where I think the adults should make the decision on this one. It affects
My
your
daddy
share as
always
well.
said- My daddy always says once the deal's done, it's done.
Your daddy also make a lot of deal with children.
I'm sorry.
That's a loaded question.
But as far as I know, this young man now has more money than the rest of you combined. So I think he's the real adult.
I believe
Who-
I have the most money out of all of
who
us
gave him
combined.
the money?
I must be misinformed. All right. I will take my fair share of the dough once we find it. But I would also like to be paid. I do not have many monies. I don't know what to do.
Harrison will give you a massage like once a week.
I hate massages.
Well-
Hate it when you get one from me.
At this point, I'm assuming you're all sitting in like the hotel restaurant and your food and drinks are brought to you. It's about
Yep. And they can have take a nice
yeah.
scotch.
it's like 6 in the evening ish.
I honestly thought it was later for some reason.
All right, I'll join yours. I'll join your crew. I won't accept payment. I'll just take my fair share of the treasure. But I would like to know what have you gone through so far? Like, why are you here now? Why has it led you here?
Well,
We have this mask, baby.
I was trying to.
Oh,
Well, we've been through a great many things, a great many occult things. We've seen some.
You mean like the Ku Klux Klan?
No, not like that. This is more.
Uncle Earl was a part of that.
There you go.
I just that photo I posted is Uncle Earl.
Fun fact. In 1925 was when the Ku Klux Klan had their second rise in power. It's a big
No.
issue in the southern United States in the mid 20s.
Well, shit.
Maybe Uncle Earl was high up.
Maybe.
No, these are of the supernatural types. We've seen things that you wouldn't believe. Honestly, it might just be better for you to come with us and to see some of the things we experience to fully understand. Or we have the mask. That'll directly show you only a small part of the horrors you may see.
I saw a dog lady.
That's
Truly
fine.
horrifying stuff.
Yes.
You have the mask. Also, as a reminder, Ruth, you have the stick with the Egyptian hieroglyphics on it.
Oh shit, that's right, I do.
I like to imagine you've been walking around with it this whole time.
It's just like on my back.
Yeah.
It's actually in your hand.
Oh,
Like the freaking millennium.
What the
It's a
fuck?
millennium item from Yu-Gi-Oh! That
Yeah.
Ruth has been carrying around.
Yagashamesh.
I can't even think of him in any other thing other than the Abridged series. Anytime I watch that,
I know. Out of curiosity, who packed the guns that you had left?
I didn't have any.
it was
I had my
Harrison,
pistol,
I
and that's it.
thought.
So Richard still has his pistol.
Mhm.
Well, Richard, you had a pistol, and then you also have the pistol that you took from the Penhew Foundation.
Yeah, but I just was keeping that at home. I'm just have the 45
Okay.
revolver and the scalpel.
Okay, and then you had Norman's double barrel, and you had Leon's Springfield, which I think you said you were going to take with you.
I think Harrison said he was going to take the
At least
Springfield.
one of those two, yeah. I can't remember which.
'Cause I'm pretty sure Harrison was like, I can handle the Springfield.
I have both of them actually. I have the shotgun and the rifle. Because
There you
remember,
go.
Jack, we rolled damage for it on before the end of the last session.
Right.
Or like wrote it all down.
Okay. Good to know. So, is there anything else you guys would like to do before you hunker down for the night?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm good.
So, in that case, the night passes uneventfully. You all get a good night's sleep in your luxurious hotel. It is now February 23rd, 1925. Don't have to keep track of Mondays anymore, but I'm still curious as to what day that is. That is a Monday. Wow.
Only bad things happen on Mondays.
That curse is lifted.
Yeah. So you all come to Monday morning, and the day is yours to do what you want with it. What would you all like to do on this fine Cairo morning?
I'm gonna see if I can find a local newspaper that's in English. and
Yeah,
read it.
absolutely.
Pip wants
would like to-
explore the area just around the hotel.
Be careful,
Sure,
Pip.
absolutely.
Don't go too far.
Okay.
Since we're at a hotel, I'm
Mhm.
gonna go ask around if there's any places that would be worth checking out with regards to like people who are experts in the field of Egyptology and cults of Egypt,
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
or like a museum where I could go ask people.
And the Carlisle expedition.
Yeah,
I'll
the
go with
Carlisle
you.
expedition.
Peyton will go with Richard.
Okay, sounds good. So we will do we'll do probably Pip first.
Roger,
Right.
Roger.
Perfect.
So you want to just look for stuff around the hotel?
Yeah.
The story
All right.
of how Pip spent $400 in 10 minutes.
Comes back like fur jacket, pimp cane.
Shit, I forgot about music. Not that anyone can hear it other than myself, but
Still.
mhm. All right. So Pip, go ahead and make me a spot hidden or navigation roll.
Do spot hidden. I have that at 75. Still no dice. Sorry, brained.
Oh, right. 56. So
Nice.
as you walk around the waterfront of the city, you find your way past many buildings. One very large one says Egyptian Museum on the front.
Yeah.
Large courtyard. And across the river, you can see what appears to be a large field with a number of facilities pertaining to it. And far in the distance, with the spot hidden roll that good, I'm pretty sure you can see far across the Nile from you, a number of kilometers away, three or several large triangular buildings that seem to reach above everything else in the distance and seem to dominate a desert scape, as Pip has for the first time seen the pyramids of Giza.
Holy shit.
You're gonna buy those for $400.
And that's pretty much all you see on your ventures.
Okay.
Just
I'll
in and
take
around
that
the
all
hotel.
in. And I'll just
Yeah.
return back to the hotel and I guess wait for everyone to come on
Yep.
back.
Sounds good. Clyde, you wanted to do something as well, right?
Yeah, I wanted to find a local newspaper
Local newspaper. You got
in
it.
English.
Local newspaper in English. One moment, please.
Take your time.
I believe there's actually a section for this.
No, we got a gamer.
Dude, Eric's a gamer?
I believe he told us that he's an elite gamer.
Oh, dude. That's pretty hype. Tier 1 gamer.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a gamer?
Didn't you go and get some G Fuel just then?
I got a cherry Coke.
Oh, okay.
All
So
right.
I'm actually out of my gamer fuel.
So, Clyde, as you are searching around the hotel, you find the offices of a local newspaper called the Cairo Bulletin.
Ah, perfect.
Not just like a print newspaper, you find the actual offices of the newspaper.
Oh,
I swear
Okay.
to God, if Rebecca Schosenberg is in there.
sure, I'll wander in. They probably have some papers.
Absolutely. As you enter into the newspaper offices, you are greeted by a somewhat portly man with a pencil-thin mustache, sort of tanned skin, dark hair. Looks Egyptian, maybe not fully, but he greets you and is like, "Ah, hello. How can I help you?"
Hey there, Chief. How you doing?
Just fine, thank you.
That's excellent. I'm looking for a paper. Today's paper.
Of course, yes. I can set you up with one. He sort of goes over to a rack and pulls out a current newspaper of the Cairo Bulletin.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's on
It's
the?
it's a newspaper. It's
Okay.
within your spending. It's like local news. Nothing too exciting. Just current events and stuff like that. As you sort of thumb through it, there's nothing too crazy
Yeah.
catches your eye.
Appreciate
Yes,
that, Chief.
no worries.
I got a weird question for you.
Yes, of course.
Have you ever heard tales or stories of a man named Jackson Elias?
I don't know if this man has heard of Jackson Elias. Let me,
Tales of Jackson Elias. He's ascended into
Dude.
legend.
Absolutely, yes.
You never know what he found down there.
see here. Oh, Jackson Elias. Yeah. Yes, he did in fact stop by my offices but a few months back, I believe.
Oh, excellent. He's an old friend of mine. I'm
Oh.
kind of following in his footsteps. Do you mind telling me what he was here for?
Oh, yes, yes, of course. Believe he was searching through a number of things. He was here but shortly. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nigel Wasif.
Section. Nigel, what was the last name?
Wasif. Wassif.
Nice. Pleased to meet you, Nigel. Name's Clyde.
And excellent to make your acquaintance as well. Sorry, just 1 second here. Oh, you know what? I have to back that up a little bit. Nigel didn't actually meet him, but he knows that Jackson did stop by. I didn't meet the man, but he did come by to search through some of the archives, I believe.
Oh, excellent. Do you have any idea what he was researching?
I don't. I believe he may have stopped in at the Egyptian Museum to speak to one of the professors there, but you're welcome to look through the archives as he did, should you be interested.
I would very much appreciate that.
Okay. So, what I need from you Clyde, is going to be a library use roll.
Clyde, are you
Fucking
just
good.
looking for your book?
I'm looking for anything that'll. If my book comes up, which I'm pretty sure, like it was said that it was like one of 5 copies left in the
Yeah.
world.
You
Ooh,
never know.
I failed.
Based on that roll, I know.
What's your library use skill?
27.
27. Well, you can certainly stay here and comb through the archives for a while if you like.
Sure, I'll stay here
Okay.
and I'll search for like, Dark Pharaoh and Carlisle and all those keywords. Let's see if I can find anything interesting.
Okay. Meanwhile, Richard and Peyton, you are going to ask people at the desk if you can find anything pertaining to
Like a
Egyptian
museum.
antiquities.
Yeah, museum
Yeah.
or university or anything.
Speaking to the concierge, you do find out that the Egyptian Museum, the center of Egyptian antiquities in town, is just a few blocks north of your current hotel.
Okay, thank you for that information. I'm gonna head there with Peyton, I guess, right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask the concierge something as well?
Yeah,
I want
absolutely.
to inquire about translators we can hire.
Oh, yes, we can put you in contact with a respectable dragoman.
Nice.
So, you, Ruth, are put in contact with a man whose name I believe is Salim, if I'm not mistaken. So, we'll gladly arrange for a dragoman. All their guides seem to have commitments that make it impossible for them to stay on the job for more than a few hours at a time. But if this suits you, he will introduce you to Salim Naziz. So,
I'd be interested in at least meeting him.
okay. So, a few moments later, you are introduced to what is effectively a tour guide here in Cairo. And you meet Salim Naziz, who is an Egyptian native, and he speaks very good English. Hello, I hear you are looking for a interpreter in your times here in the city of Cairo.
Yes, well, I don't know exactly what our plans are quite yet. I can foresee us perhaps running into a language barrier.
Of course, if you do not speak Arabic, it may be difficult to find your way around the city. But I am, of course, of service to help you.
And
should you need it.
I was made aware you are only available for a couple hours at a time.
Yes, but I should be available throughout your stay here, in varying degrees.
Very good. If I have need of your services, how would I get into contact with you again?
You can reach me through the concierge here at the hotel.
Very good. Well, Celine, you can expect to hear from us.
Of course, ma'am. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I'm Ruth, by the way. I apologize. Realized I did not introduce myself.
Thank you, Ruth. I will. I look forward to helping you.
Very good.
All right. So, Richard, you and Peyton make your way to the Egyptian Museum.
Can I tag along with you? Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
cool. Thank you.
As you guys are walking north, you bump into Pip on the street, who is walking back to the hotel.
Ah, my dear boy, where have you been?
I saw a lot of stuff. I saw a museum. I saw some triangles in the distance. Um, I s- that was the important stuff.
Pip, we're on our way to the museum. Do you want to come along with us?
Okay.
I have now invited Pip to the museum.
Pip has joined the party.
Pip accepts invitation.
Pip has lost connection. Try again.
So, the four of you make your way to the Egyptian Museum. It is a fairly large building. And as you enter in, it's open from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. It's relatively early in the day right now, so no worries there. It has a staggering amount of Egyptian antiquities in here. Lots of very interesting sculpture and mummies and what have you are all about.
Okay. I'm gonna go try and find like the curator or someone who can point me towards someone who knows something.
Okay. I need you to make me a spot hidden roll or a navigate roll or something of that nature.
Okay. This roll isn't what I'm using it for. I'm using this roll to pick which dice I'm going to use.
Okay. That's acceptable.
Okay, so these are the days. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna make spot hidden's my better of those two. I will do that. Okay, I got a regular success.
Regular success. Okay. After searching around for a while, you find a number of employees, a number of experts, but many of them seem rather busy, and they point you to a certain section of the museum where you meet a thin, somewhat elderly Egyptian man, probably in his late 50s to 60s. He's got a beard and a pair of glasses and sort of well-groomed hair. And as you approach, says, how can I help you?
Hello, my name is Dr. Richard Mason. This is Harrison Dodge, and this is Peyton and my adopted child, Pip.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, is there anything I can help you with?
I was just curious. I did have a couple odd questions I wanted to ask. I figured coming here you'd have probably some of the most knowledge on this area. First off, I was curious if a man named Jackson Elias had stopped by here.
He did stop through the museum some months back, if I remember correctly.
Well, you see here that Harrison Dodge here is a good friend of Jackson Elias, and we've been kind of following in his footsteps through his journey, and I was just wondering if you might be able to help us understand what he was looking for in Egypt.
Yes, when I remember Mr. Elias quite well. He's something of a nervous man, if I remember. Seemed quite driven to whatever he was finding, and seemed to always be looking over his shoulder to see if he was being followed, perhaps. I had a meeting at the time and was unable to help him entirely. But he was quite interested in learning about the Carlisle expedition, if I remember correctly.
Do you have any memorabilia from the Carlisle expedition here?
No memorabilia, but I did assist them to some degree as when they passed through Cairo some years back.
Interesting. What did you show to them?
Let's see here. I was in contact with one of their members who is also an Egyptologist as myself, a man named Sir Aubrey Penhew. He and I had some back and forth discussions pertaining to a figure known as the Black Pharaoh, and I assumed that is what their expedition was perhaps pertaining to. when when Sir Aubrey last came to Egypt, I visited him at the dig sites that he and the Carlisle expedition were excavating, but was unable to grant access to the site as I was rebuffed by Sir Aubrey, which was somewhat rude given his previous characteristics towards me. But
It's interesting. How was he acting different when he rebuffed you versus when he was with you at the museum?
oh, he did not visit me in the museum. He and I had correspondence overseas.
Interesting. Interesting. Would you maybe think that the behavior that he exhibited was similar to the behavior that Jackson was exhibiting?
No, Jackson seemed concerned about something, and I could not help him at the time, but we scheduled an appointment for him to ask more questions of me, but he never showed up following my meeting.
Hmm.
Is your friend Jackson in good spirits, in good health?
Well, unfortunately, he was murdered, and that's why it's so important to me to follow in his footsteps, because I fear that the one he was looking over his shoulder for was the one that found him in the end, and we've come all the way to Egypt to finish his quest.
The gold bar killer.
Do you want to make a charm or a persuade roll with a bonus die, Harrison?
I absolutely would love to do that. Thank you so much for offering. Okay, not gonna pick the wrong dice like I did before. We'll use these ones.
Yeah, use the D12.
Yeah, use the D12. Give me an advantage.
I forgot that was a thing.
Me too.
Sorry, if I don't remind you guys of my screw ups, how will we learn from them? Okay, I'm feeling good about persuade. Harrison's not as charming as you might think.
If all else fails, I'll intimidate him.
That's great. No, I was one under my skill, so that is a success.
Dr. Kafour puts his hand on your shoulder, Harrison. I'm sorry to hear the passing of your friend. I must warn you that I believe you also may be putting yourselves in great danger should you follow up on Jackson's line of questioning.
Well, as my father, George Dodge, always said to me, the right path isn't always the easiest one. In fact, it hardly ever is.
Well, Lord, I can
Sounds
only
a lot like
assume.
my father.
I can only assume the danger must lie in looking into this Carlisle expedition and what they were looking into, which you said was the Black Pharaoh, correct?
Indeed, given Sir Aubrey's penchant and desire to find out about the Black Pharaoh, I can only assume that perhaps the expedition uncovered some secret or some discovery pertaining to the Black Pharaoh.
And do you, by chance, do you know if they succeeded in finding it? That dig site that you weren't able to get onto, or the expedition or excavation that you weren't able to get onto, did they end up finding what they came looking for? Or?
It was rumored in the papers that they had. I myself do not know if they discovered anything of import, but it is my opinion that perhaps, yes, they did find something that led to their slaughter.
What has become of the dig site since after the Carlisle expedition's sudden end?
I imagine it has been picked over and perhaps still exists, but is not being worked on. The Penhew Foundation has sent many subsequent excavations in the time since, and I believe there is one excavation sponsored by the Penhew Foundation currently here in Cairo.
You mind directing us to that for possible later investigation?
Yes, I believe. One moment here. Yes, they've been in Egypt for a number of months. They're known as the Clive expedition, led by a man named Henry Clive. Another member of the Penhew Foundation who has been sponsored to come here with a small team and dig through the sands of Egypt. You guys have heard of the Clive expedition through the telegram which you found in the Penhew Foundation basement.
Henry Clive?
Yes, I believe that is his name. Anyway, that's what we'll go with for now. And if I'm wrong, I'll correct it later, but I'm almost positive it's Henry Clive is his name. Now, they have made some interesting discoveries in the time that they've been here. Or they would have. It has been something of the talk in archaeological circles as of late that one of the Clive expedition's findings was recently stolen from one of their dig sites.
How interesting.
And do
Is
we
that-
know what exactly that was?
It was an unidentified mummy, which was stolen from a room that the Clive expedition had found inside one of the pyramids.
Oh my.
Wouldn't by chance have any idea of who might be also interested in these sorts of things here in Egypt or in Cairo?
I do not know. But Jackson mentioned the Black Pharaoh. I wonder if you have heard anything about this particular figure from Egyptian antiquity.
I don't believe we have. We are familiar with a few cults that might possibly follow underneath it, but that is about it.
Well,
Well, this is the first time I'm hearing of it.
Me too.
Sounds like if you have any knowledge you could pass over, we've got some eager ears.
I have much knowledge. I am an expert in Egyptian history and the occult history of Egypt as well. At the end of the third dynasty, a man known as Nefren Ka came to Egypt. Nefren Ka was
He froze.
No!
Powerful.
Speech
Wow. I can't believe that it's.
You know what the worst part is he's probably still going because we're all quiet when he's doing a speech.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
there
back.
you go.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, did I freeze?
Yeah,
Hey,
you
Green,
froze.
you're right.
I thought you guys were like making fun of me. 'Cause, like,
Kinda, cause you froze.
Well, Green called it too. He's like, because we're usually quiet when you're talking, you probably didn't notice.
I actually noticed the whole thing. I thought Eric made a joke while I was mid speech, and I was like, well, fuck me, I guess.
No, you just froze.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't hear a thing.
We thought the Dark Pharaoh got you.
At the end of the Third Dynasty, a man known as Nefren Ka came to Egypt. Nefren Ka was said to be a powerful sorcerer, and he brought madness and death to his enemies at the flick of a finger. The stories say that he came from an ancient city in the deserts of Arabia, whose name was Irem, the city of the pillars. Nefren Ka revived the worship of an old, foul god called the Black Pharaoh. Soon, Nefren Ka and that god were interchangeable in the minds of the people of Egypt, and the sorcerer also became known as the Black Pharaoh. In the modern era, few know of them, and even fewer can distinguish between their deeds and their legends. For many years, the Black Pharaoh fought with Zoser's successors of the Third Dynasty of Egypt for control of the land. So great was the power of the Black Pharaoh said to be that no record of them now remains. For a time, Nefren Ka ruled the Nile and its peoples. At last, Pharaoh Sneferu rose and founded the Fourth Dynasty, and with the aid of the goddess Isis, thwarted the evil magic and slew Nefren Ka. Remarkably, a pyramid was built at Medum by Sneferu's commands to contain the sorcerer's body. Gafor speculates that this perhaps insulated Egypt. I speculate that this perhaps insulated Egypt from the still potent magic within the corpse. However, the pyramid at Medum collapsed, and the second, which was already under construction, was hurriedly repurposed. This second pyramid is now known as the Bent Pyramid at Dashur. Our records imply that Nefren Ka's corpse was removed from Medum and placed within the Bent Pyramid, but exploration of the pyramid has found no trace, despite rumors of hidden chambers within. A second pyramid at Dashur, the Red Pyramid, is also attributed to Sneferu. This pyramid is said to guard Dashur, lest Nefren Ka rise from the dead. Upon his triumph, Sneferu ordered all traces of the Black Pharaoh stricken from the land. Nevertheless, worshippers of the Black Pharaoh remained and schemed for the evil one's return. In time, the worshippers were driven south, out of Egypt, and into the hideous swamps beyond the Sudan. In the Sixth Dynasty, the cruel queen Nitocris was thought to be in league with a new cult of the Black Pharaoh, though the proof of this is subjective, though I believe it to be true, based on my research.
Would that happen to be the cult of the bloody tongue?
Let's find out if he knows. Let's see here. What are your stats here, Dr. Kafour? There you are. Huh.
Okay.
I am not familiar with this name. What does this bloody tongue cult mean to you?
It wouldn't just to kind of rack my brain here. Richard didn't have a ton of run-ins with the cult of the bloody tongue, right? I just know about it from them. Because
Yes.
in London we didn't run into a lot of it. That was more something
Yeah.
else.
I mean, you guys ran into what you believe to be the cult of the bloody tongue based on the research you did, but you weren't there for that, Richard.
Yeah.
That was all. Leon was still alive at that point, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I
We-
would have just heard about it. So it would be Harrison who'd have to speak on it.
We've crossed paths with them numerous times in the past. We know that they worship the Black Pharaoh. we've been pursued by many of their members, and I believe Jackson Elias had as well.
I cannot say for certain if they are involved or not. They could be two disparate elements, or they could be one and the same. It is difficult to say.
Now, you mentioned that the mummy was stolen from the Clive expedition. Is the Clive expedition held at any of these pyramids?
They have been making a number of excavations throughout the Giza Plateau, and I believe have moved further south now, if I'm not mistaken.
So you don't think that this Nephrim was the body that was stolen?
No, I do not.
Is it so now that there exist two cults, is it possible that these two cults are competing for the finding of this Nephron car?
Again, I have not heard of this cult of the bloody tongue that you speak of, but it is
Wait a
not.
second. What's the second one again? What's
Well, you have
this
the
other
cult of the
cult?
Black Pharaoh.
It's the Black Pharaoh, sometimes known as Nyarlathotep in some sources.
It's the title.
Roll
Oh my
credits.
God, you got there.
I believe that this mummy that was stolen was undoubtedly the remains of Queen Nitocris, the ruler who attempted to revive the cult of the Black Pharaoh in the 6th dynasty. She was said to have been buried alive, but no trace of her was ever found until rumors of this secret room that the Clive expedition uncovered began to surface.
I'm gonna kind of lean back because I guess Pip wouldn't have a ton of knowledge in this, and neither would Peyton. I'm gonna kind of look over at Harris and be like, "Well, first I'm gonna kind of gesture to the gentleman and be like, I do believe that there is a relation between the bloody tongue and, based on what Harrison here has told me about them, and I do believe we have found evidence that some of these cults may be more in depth, including have been part of the Penhew Foundation. It is possible that perhaps, like I said, these two cults are competing, and seeing as you suggest it's possible that it was the queen's body that was found, it could be that we're dealing with two different cults, one trying to overtake the other, and maybe trying to find the original leader of their cult to help them do so.
Perhaps. I believe the investigation of these cults are what led to the deaths of the Carlisle expedition, as well as the death of your friend. I always had a great respect for Sir Aubrey Penhew, and may he rest in peace. And Director Edward Gavigan has always been something of a good man. But since Sir Aubrey's death, there have been at least 10 expeditions sent to Egypt by the Penhew Foundation, and they have been marred by misfortune. At least 20 people have died in the time that they've been working on these expeditions sent from England.
I have another question. If we suspect that the Black Pharaoh manifests itself through one of its greatest worshippers, and we know that the queen whose remains were discovered recently, allegedly, was one of the most recent people to attempt to revive the Black Pharaoh. If we assume that the Black Pharaoh manifests itself in a person, how long does it take, or how long do we suspect it takes for the Black Pharaoh to manifest itself in someone else after the person has been killed?
do not know. This is a good question,
Hmm.
but it is beyond the scope of my knowledge.
Well, you've been invaluable to us already, my friend. I appreciate your assistance.
Of
Why
course.
can't the Pharaoh come back? What'd he do?
Well, Pip, when based on a lot of our findings, he was a very power-driven individual, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, as you are the expert on him. We don't. It is something similar to as the when bodies go or countries go to war. It's usually in defense of someone trying to reign superior or suppress a group of individuals. And
Yes.
I suspect he would try to suppress a lot of the world.
There is no reason to believe that the Black Pharaoh cannot come back. There's one prophecy that implies that the Black Pharaoh will rise fingers and toes after the Great Good One, which some occultists and Egyptologists have come to reference, may have taken to mean 20 centuries after the death of Christ, which would herald a new age destined to end the dominance of mankind.
Oh,
There are some that say the Black Pharaoh was part of a pantheon of abominable deities, more ancient than even the gods of Egypt, of ancient Egypt. Old gods that were utterly inhuman and dedicated to chaos and madness. It's said that the voice of Neferka was said to have been carried throughout the land upon a black wind, a wind which was destroyed at his whims. Oh, I have to back something up again. Dr. Kafour has heard of the cult of the Bloody Tongue. It's in a little sidebar, hidden on the page, but it is there. I believe that the Black Pharaoh and Neferka existed, as do the pantheon of unspeakable gods. Some call them the outer gods. They're said to be led by a demonic sultan named Azathoth. I've seen traces of these gods in the desert, and I know for a fact that the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh exist in present-day Egypt. I also suspect that the worship of the Black Pharaoh is growing in other parts of Africa. I have heard of a cult called the Bloody Tongue, which I believe you may have alluded to earlier, in the Kenyan colony of Britain. My apologies about that slight mistake on my part. I didn't realize that Dr. Kafour had heard of that, and so I had him roll, see if he had heard of it. No roll necessary.
It's no problem at all, Doctor. I know we've got a lot of questions for you today.
This cult of the Bloody Tongue are said to worship a monstrous god, which I believe may be another aspect of the Black Pharaoh. It was said to take many forms.
And what is the name of this monstrous god?
I do not know. But the Black Pharaoh, Neferka, the Bloody Tongue, Nyarlathotep, for our purposes, they are all one and the same.
So sorry, Masks of Nyarlathotep. Is that the name of the other cult?
Which cult?
The one that's not the Bloody Tongue.
Nyarlathotep is just said to be another name of the Black Pharaoh.
The other
I
cult's
think
cult of the blood. It's the Black
Cult of the
Pharaoh, right?
Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Cult of the Black Pharaoh.
So
okay.
you know of the cult of the Bloody Tongue, cult of the
Yeah.
Black Pharaoh, and you just saw this name for those of you who are wondering how to spell it.
Thank you.
This is the name that Dr.
Good
Kafour
enough.
has used quite a bit.
I put a W at the end of A, but I spelt it all right otherwise.
Very nice word.
I was. Well, it was not far off.
What do you plan to do now that you have this information?
Well, I definitely don't lead the planning committee of our team, but I would assume that
Lunch.
paying well after lunch, yes, that's an excellent point, Pip. I think we will visit the dig site, and ultimately make our way to Kenya. And I think your input on this would be invaluable, Doctor. But I have a feeling we might find ourselves inside a pyramid at one point or another.
If I can be of any assistance, let me know.
We will.
The resurgence of the Black Pharaoh could spell an ill omen for Egypt, and perhaps the world. And I will do anything to help you stop it.
We appreciate it. And Doctor, I know that a group of strangers have no right to tell you who to trust, but all I'll say is that you should be wary of the Penhew Foundation. We, for a group that is founded by one that was slain by the axe of the Dark Pharaoh, I feel that they might have their hands dirty with the Black Pharaoh themselves, and I urge you to be cautious if they come knocking at your door again.
Perhaps
Yes,
you may be right.
Edward Gavigan may not be all he appears to be.
I thank you for the warning.
And Doctor, we most likely will be needing help on this excavation. So if you are willing to, and of course we'll consult with our colleagues, but if you're willing to come along just to help us understand some of it, that would be most helpful.
My position puts me in a unique angle to perhaps do things that you would not otherwise be able to do within Egypt. So I would be happy to help in any way I can. Before you go, should you wish to know anything more about the Clive expedition and their exploits here in Egypt, I had heard that one member of the expedition, a archaeologist from the Netherlands known as Jan Willem van Hoevelen, he was recently let go by Dr. Henry Clive, who supervises the Clive expedition. He may be a good person to find should you wish to know more about the Clive expedition.
How did you spell his name? Sorry.
It's a long name. I'll spell it and put it in the general chat.
Okay, sounds good.
It's a Dutch name, so
Yeah.
Hoevelen. Jan Willem van Hoevelen.
I was close. I was very close. I got the first name in the middle, obviously, but the last part I spelled wrong.
Okay. Clyde.
Yeah.
After 4 hours of searching through the archives at the Cairo Bulletin, you do find some information regarding the Carlisle expedition and the time they spent in Egypt. So, Hunting through the Cairo Bulletin's archives identifies several articles of varying usefulness. One item is a photograph showing Sir Aubrey, Roger Carlyle, Hypatia Masters, and Robert Houston emerging from a dinner in their honor at a restaurant known as the Turf Club 2 days after their arrival in Cairo. Carlyle is a blonde and handsome young man. Houston is a darker and plumper man with a somewhat worried smile. Sir Aubrey Penhew is a tall, white-haired, distinguished gentleman. Hypatia Masters is blonde and in a beautiful gown. And that's more or less it as far as that photo goes.
Okay. Would it be too much to ask for you to write those names down and send them to me?
No, it's not too much to ask. I just can't do it just this second.
Yeah, all good. All good.
So, as you comb through some of the articles, they begin to tell a pretty clear story. The expedition arrived in Cairo in May 1919, supposedly to search for and excavate sites linked to the Third Dynasty, which is a rather unknown period in Egyptian history. After their initial investigations at Giza, their work shifted to a site at Saqqara and then an area known as Dashur. Since the specific digs seemed unrelated to known Third Dynasty locations, speculation arose about the expedition's secret purpose. Later, rumors in the papers mentioned that Carlyle had perhaps made an astonishing find. Then, in July of 1919, the expedition suddenly embarked for Mombasa, Kenya, apparently on holiday. Other articles say that Roger Carlyle was said to have become sick around this time. As a spokesman, Sir Aubrey Penhew indicated that the summer was too hot for Carlyle and implied that the impending seasonal flood of the Nile would cover an important site for several months. Several photographs show Hypatia Masters with her camera. Make a spot hidden roll for me, Clyde.
Happy to do so. Oh. I rolled a 1.
Extreme success.
Yep.
You just needed a regular success.
Well,
so
I did better.
Yeah. Looking at the pictures of Hypatia Masters with her camera, the background of the picture actually says, or there's a background of one of the photographs contained part of a calendar for May. It seems that the pictures ran in the Cairo Bulletin in July, even though they were actually taken during the first few months during the arrival of the expedition. Apparently, Hypatia Masters had fallen ill in June, right before the group left for Kenya.
Okay.
That is what you find out regarding the Carlisle expedition during your hours searching through the archives.
Okay.
But it took you 4 hours, whereas it took these guys like 10 minutes.
Yeah, well. Put in the work.
Did you find anything good, old chap?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, Nigel's talking to you.
Yes, something very interesting. Can I make a copy of this? Does that exist in 1920s?
It does not.
Okay. This is very
Not-
interesting.
Not to my knowledge. There might be a like really difficult way to do it, but yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know. Yes, this is very interesting. I might return later with some friends
Of course.
to explore this.
Looking up the Carlisle expedition, is that it?
Yes, that is.
Certainly an interesting time
Very
when they were in town.
Yeah. Do you remember it well?
They were terrible at keeping the press away from their dig sites. I don't remember much about their visits here. I know that they had dinner several times with a local plantation owner named Omar Al-Shakti. He's a rather off-putting fellow, but I know he's a local wealthy man who would naturally have wealthy Americans to his home for dinner. Make a psychology roll for me.
No, I'm great at those. Fail.
Fail. Well, is there anything else I could help you with?
No, this has been more than I expected. Thank you for your time.
Of course. Well, perhaps I'll see you again.
I'm sure you will.
Okay. So, we'll say it took you guys about an hour to do the whole conversation at the museum with Dr. Kafour, whereas Clyde was searching the archives for much longer than that. Is there anything you guys want to do, or do you just want to reconvene a few hours later at the hotel?
Yeah. I got some tea to spill.
All right. Okay.
Boy, did I find some interesting stuff.
Oh, you wouldn't just tell me about it. We found so much information.
Richard, no need to one up. Clyde, go ahead, tell us what's going on.
Well, I found a few things. I couldn't, or I presume I couldn't bring it with me, but there's a photo of the Carlisle expedition and very interesting states and by a dig site.
I also believe, I think this is the first visual representation you've gotten of the full Carlisle expedition. I believe it's the first time you've had a full photo of them. I wish I had a handout for it. I don't think I do.
We'll have to go see it. It's at the archives. I spent most of the day there. I also learned that they had dinner with the local Omar Al-Askadi.
Omar Al-Shakti. I'll
Al-Shakti.
put him in the chat.
Thank you. They had dinner with several times during their time here, so he may be an interesting fellow to talk to.
Anything else?
No, I mean I thought that was pretty good.
I think so too. Now let's get to our stuff. Well, Richard, Patton, and Pip, and myself, we have met a doctor whose name mostly escapes me, but we've made a new ally in him, and he had a great deal of knowledge about the Black Pharaoh, the cult of the Bloody Tongue. We've gotten a lot more insight into what's going on here. It appears that there are two cults that we suspect are competing against one another. The cult of the Bloody Tongue, as we've crossed paths with numerous times. Oh, Ruth, I'm offering you. What did you do today, Ruth?
Yeah,
Ruth, did you?
I secured a translator, but so far you're going for information I already know, but please continue.
well, you already know.
Wow.
I'm a wizard.
As I was saying. As I was saying. So here's some information that you didn't know, Ruth. The Black Pharaoh appears to have manifested in itself in many figures over the years. The first of which being the notorious Nephilim Ka, who was a very well-known necromancer.
Sorcerer.
Who? What? Sorcerer?
Yeah, sorcerer.
Okay. Okay, I really want to get into a debate about the semantics of what the difference there is, but I'm going to hold myself back for your sake, Richard. As I was saying, um, uh, yeah, it's bad magic man. He held a reign of terror over Egypt for quite some time, and after he was overthrown, there was a queen that attempted to revive the Black Pharaoh, and so my suspicion is that the Black Pharaoh can actually manifest itself in living beings. Clyde and Ruth, I believe we've seen this firsthand with oh, what was that Willy Winker's name who gave me a bad ouchie when we first encountered him.
Oh, in Peru.
Yeah.
Oh, that Augustus Larkin.
Augustus Larkin, because remember how ill and we knew that something was off with him, and we visited in his room, and he cursed me. He was it was insane. He basically it was one of the first true horrors of the Black Pharaoh that we witnessed firsthand. So I believe that the Black Pharaoh is manifesting itself into a living being, and the thing that I can't figure out is how long it takes for it to manifest itself again, because we killed Larkin. We killed Larkin, and if I remember correctly, didn't it feel like the Black Pharaoh had expunged itself from his body as he died? Do you remember that, guys?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Something about love.
You, Richard, you weren't there. I'm talking to the OGs. That's or sorry, the OEs. That's original. Or sorry, the OIs, original investigators. Keep,
Do
so,
seem to remember him thanking us after we had killed him, and something had happened, but he thanked us.
yes. So the other information that we got was that apparently apparently the Carlisle expedition was very hostile to the Doctor when he. Is it not the Carlisle? It's the other one. It's the Clive expedition.
No. The Carlisle was no. You're correct. Carlisle was the one that was hostile.
Yeah, so the Carlisle expedition was very hostile towards our friend the Doctor when he was invited to their site, which was obviously quite different from their correspondence when they were first getting in contact with each other. So my theory there,
specifically Penhew.
Yeah. Point of clarification. They were hostile in the fact that they were rude and didn't let him enter the site. He wasn't invited to the site. He decided to go visit the site on his own accord.
Thank you. So it was clear that they were wanting to conceal whatever it was that they were uncovering there. We also learned a bit about how the original Nephrim Ka was, sealed within a pyramid because it was believed that his magic would be sealed with him. That pyramid eventually dissolved and he was moved to a different one. And we might be seeing a similar occurrence because apparently the Clive expedition, which is essentially a successor of the Carlisle expedition, there has been a very scandalous occurrence of theft from that dig site, and the Doctor believes that the remains of the Queen, whose name also escapes me, were taken. So we've definitely got quite a few leads to follow up, but the question is, where do we go first?
So can I'm gonna jump
if
in here
I
and
may-
clarify. Oh no, go for it, Peyton.
I may not know much about these cults and what y'all have been up to, but Harrison, it does seem like that it's not that this black or dark pharaoh manifests. It's more. I keep losing the accent. It's more.
Tell me about it.
Fuck.
Tell
It's
me
more.
about it.
It's more so that somebody must put the Dark Pharaoh in that body with some sort of ceremony.
Well, and to
And I-
further go into a little bit of detail here with what Harrison was saying there. There are two pyramids that could be possibly of interest to us that the doctor at the museum brought up. One was the bent pyramid in Dashur, which was the original burial of Nephron-Kar's body, and also the red pyramid is also placed in Dashur, and I believe the burial place is Sneferu, and who was to watch over the bent pyramid and keep an eye and basically, right? That was it. To keep an eye on the bent pyramid.
He was the one that defeated. I want to say it was the Queen, right?
Yeah.
I
I'm
thought he
sorry,
defeated
it's-
Nephron-Kar.
Yes, Sneferu defeated Nephron-Ka, and that gave rise to the Fourth Dynasty. I'm going to check
Yeah.
the pyramids for you because there are the two pyramids at Dashur that are important, but then there's also the pyramids here in Giza, which have some things to do. Like that's where the Clive expedition were supposedly found the mummy.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so remarkably, a pyramid was built at Meidum by Sneferu's commands to contain the sorcerer's body. The pyramid collapsed, and a second, which was already under construction, was repurposed. So the first pyramid to hold Nephron-Ka's body collapsed during construction, which is now known as the collapsed pyramid. The book doesn't say that, but that's a real pyramid. All these pyramids are real in Egypt. So his body was taken from the collapsed pyramid, or not put into the collapsed pyramid, because it collapsed. The second pyramid is now known as the Bent Pyramid at Dashur. Records imply that Nephron-Ka's corpse was removed from Meidum and placed within the Bent Pyramid, but exploration of the Bent Pyramid has discovered no trace of his body, despite rumors of a hidden chamber within. Another pyramid at Dashur, known as the Red Pyramid, is also attributed to Sneferu. This pyramid is said to guard Dashur, lest Nephron-Ka rise from the dead.
Yeah. Okay. So I was on par for those two.
Yeah.
And I believe these would be of great interest to us, not to mention the Clive expedition, which currently, as we were investigating the Penhew Foundation back in London, is funding all these expeditions. So Henry Clive actually works for the Penhew Foundation. So I believe that would be quite an interesting stop. They also had recently released let go an archaeologist by the name of Jan Willem van Hoevelen. And the doctor at the museum suggested he might have more information on the digs and going on, and as well as more information on the Clive expedition, which is the current expedition that Edward Gavigan has actually played a role in sending over here. We definitely have quite a few starting points. I suggest starting with the Clive expedition, considering it. I believe it's in Cairo, right? It's currently.
You don't know its current whereabouts. I think that's why the doctor suggested you find someone close to the expedition.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So like
the guy.
Jan
You know,
Willem van
you know they're here in Egypt. You're just not sure where at the moment.
Okay. So we have a couple of leads. We have the archaeologist who could tell us where the Clive expedition is located. We also have the two pyramids, one of which has a rumored secret tomb or secret room that has yet to be discovered. And I mean, as we have seen recently, it seems like these cults love their secret rooms, so I'm sure we can figure out how to get into it.
So, You also have the telegraph from the Clive Clive expedition that you found at the Penhew Foundation. So it's sent November 6, 1924. Giza dig well. Stop. All as planned. Stop. Work apace at Mycerinus. Stop. Thank you for your assistance. Most helpful. Stop.
Ah. Mycerinus.
But that telegraph was sent in November of 1924. So it's been about 4 months since that telegraph was sent.
Well, it seems to me like we have a lot to follow up on here in Egypt, and the fired archaeologist may be a good starting point.
Agreed.
Yes, considering the bent pyramid and the red pyramid would require us to go outside of, or quite a distance.
Yes, Dashur is a fair distance away from Cairo, I believe.
Yeah, it's far down the Nile.
I do also think at some point we should stop at the archives so I can show you all a picture of the Carlisle expedition in full. I was also reading that a few of them members grew ill in certain points of time and certain aspects after doing something that Jack told me and I forgot.
Who's Jack?
Who are you?
I'm Harrison Dodge. I thought you'd know that by now, Clyde.
You sound an awful lot like a different guy.
Typhoid. Antibiotics. They're not as good in 1925 as they are today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, now that you guys have investigated, what's the game plan?
Stop by the archives for sure. I think we need to put our heads together and make a game plan as to where to go, but may as well take some action in the meantime and go check out those archives.
Is it
What
still
time?
early in the day?
It would be probably late afternoon when you guys all reconvene at the hotel.
What time would sunset be in Cairo in, was it February still or March at this point?
It's late February. It's February 23rd today.
Egypt. What's that? February 23rd, you said, sorry?
Yes, February 23rd. So it's northern hemisphere still, so the sun would set somewhat early-ish.
5:50 p.m. I just want to know because, to be honest, I think that, I mean, it's February, so it's not like we're going to hide inside every time it gets dark out. I just can't help but feel like we should stay in the light where we can.
Mm-hmm. As a note, it is very warm in Egypt, and those of you who are wearing like heavy wool and cotton clothes from your time in England will probably want to get some easier to breathe in clothes because none of you are really accustomed to the heat. This
Let's
level.
go shopping!
Although it is still
Montage.
February, so February the temperature would not be as bad as like midsummer or anything like that, but you're still hitting some pretty high highs during the daytime.
Swing high, sweet chariot. Well, I wouldn't mind going and getting some new threads.
Perhaps I have some sort of suit in tan.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, where would you guys like to go next? Is there anything you want to buy before you do anything here in Egypt?
Let's go get ourselves some new threads. Let's go to the local market. Let's get some snazzy outfits.
Jazzy outfits. So, cost of some new threads.
While we're out, I also want to keep an eye out for Pip wants a little knife, little dagger or something, little
little
Egyptian
knife.
knife. Yeah, something
You
like.
rob some
I
people.
assume they have like maybe market stalls or something. I don't know
Yeah.
how Cairo works, so.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, make it a spot hidden check for me, Pip.
75. Roll for me, please, Jack. Sorry.
38. Yeah, you see some little daggers that you could
Nice.
purchase.
Might as well.
So, with your incredible wealth, Pip, a dagger will set you back. Where's my table for that?
The little scimitar.
Yeah.
Gotta live to eat, gotta eat to live.
Otherwise, we
A dagger costs $2.50, which since you have 400 American dollars.
That's just in my assets, too.
Yeah.
I just imagine Pip coming back from the marketplace with 100 knives.
Yeah.
And that's how Cutco started.
So, mark down that your small knife is a 1d4 plus your damage bonus. So I think 1d4 minus 1 for you.
You have the potential to get 0.
Potentially. But I
Doesn't even pierce skin.
I think Pip has like a ridiculous fighting brawl skill.
Yep.
So I
He's a
guess.
scrappy little guy, but
Mm-hmm.
What I missed while I was gone there? Just
Just
arguing
good
with each
stuff.
other or anything productive?
I bought a
bought
knife.
we're at the marketplace, so you're just in time to get yourself some more weather-appropriate threads.
The first thing Pip does with his money is buy a weapon.
Yeah, he fits right in.
Yeah, no one's supervising him.
Oh, I am. I'm allowing him to be his
No,
own person.
I'm not judging
Evolve.
Pip. I'm judging Richard.
Well, I need a weapon. You guys have all had guns and stuff. I've had a
Oh yeah,
stick.
that's a good point.
Like, come
I don't-
on.
I don't have my
It's also
gun
like-
anymore. Is there
I feel like
a way for me to buy weapons? Is there anything available in terms of a firearm?
The firearms laws work a little bit differently in Egypt. You need to get a license.
I need a license for a firearm in 1920 Egypt.
You do, actually. The
Damn.
book says explicitly that you need to get a firearms license to purchase it. However, a criminal such as yourself may find other ways to acquire weapons.
Yeah, that's probably what
Criminal.
I do. You don't
Like-
know anything.
Leave him in on a boat.
So what about the firearms we brought in? Do those need to be registered? To be legal?
So technically, I'm supposed to make a roll to see if the Port Authority searches your bags. So yes, they would need to be registered. You have effectively snuck those into the country because I didn't ask for the roll, because the person who was sneaking them in wasn't in the call at the time. So this time, those weapons are just in your inventory. But knowing how quickly you guys lose weapons in this campaign, I'm not too
Yeah.
worried about it.
It just gets one search is all it takes.
Yeah. So we will call a outdoor clothing for you, depending if you want to get like 2 uniforms, it'll probably cost you around $15. Half that if you just want to wear the same stinky fucking clothes for the entire time you're in Egypt.
What am I, a Neanderthal?
So $7.50 American for each outdoor appropriate attire that you want to put together.
Are we all doing this?
37.
I don't know if
I'm,
Are
I'm
you?
going to as well.
I
I'm a
didn't
young
realize-
boy who's never been to Egypt.
Uh,
Very hot.
Okay.
oh my.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll buy it, I guess.
I may have overstepped on my spending limit here.
Patton, is this going to be a reoccurring event where we have to buy you shit because you didn't actually bring any money with you on this journey? Also, why are you here? I haven't really unpacked this at all. What brings you to Egypt, Patton?
Hey,
I believe it's Peyton.
And Oswald.
Never call a lady by the wrong name.
Okay. Anyways, Patan, you were saying?
I don't need to respond to this.
He's disgusting, isn't he, Pat? Isn't he? No, I can't say it. Pat. The seeds are planted. Peyton.
Now, to answer your first question, in order for me to have forgotten to bring money, I would have had to have money to bring in the first place, which I do not. I'm poor.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess if we wanted to, we could dip into the Elias bond, because I mean, I guess that's just a charity now. So, I mean, I'm not just paying out of pocket because you didn't bring proper clothing.
What was the Elias bond?
We call it the Jesse Hughes fund.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I wrote it down as the Elias bond. So, does it help if I say I'm sorry?
Okay. It was just like,
Jack, I would. Oh, sorry, go for you.
no, I'm just naming it. Not productive.
Jack, I would like to buy clothes similar to that of O'Connell and the Mummy.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Wait, what character from the Mummy do you look like?
O'Connell. Like that's
Brendan
what I'm gonna
Fraser.
yeah, Brendan Fraser.
O'Connell. Oh, O'Connell.
Yeah. Okay.
Except I want my vest thing that he has on to have the thing for my gun, but then the other side has a little slit for my scalpel.
All
Very
right.
specific.
Are you going to get the necessary oh fuck, I guess the gun's already here. Who's gonna stop a wealthy or a wealthy British guy? Be
I mean,
like, "Hey,
I'll buy a permit for it. I don't care.
I don't know if the book actually gives me a cost of the permit. I think it's more of a bureaucratic thing where you you just go and get it done.
However it's done, I want to do that because I don't want to be getting my gun taken.
Yeah, I guess I should go get a permit too.
Let's see here.
Perks of being a child. I shouldn't have a gun.
I'm afraid of guns.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh. Important point of clarification. While it is legal to import firearms and explosives into Egypt during the 1920s, permits are required for both. These must also be arranged at the port entry unless the investigators wish to find themselves on the wrong side of the law. To import, I think to just have them, there's no there's nothing required. If I'm reading this correctly, which seeing as it's 2 sentences long, I think it is. So the guns are here in Egypt now.
This is an import question. Aren't you technically importing it when you come with it?
Yeah, but like I said, you guys, I didn't make you guys make luck rolls to see if your bags get checked.
Sure.
Unless you want to say that, unless you want to say that you set up the proper documentation. Let's say that when you guys came into Egypt, you were good little Boy Scouts and you set up the proper documentation to import your firearms into Egypt.
Sweet.
Go
That was in a filler episode.
Yeah, exactly.
No one watched that.
No one liked that arc.
It's like a droid episode in Clone Wars. It's like, why I'm not even gonna bother with this.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Okay. So, Yeah, you could probably find a place to buy firearms as well.
Cool. I want to do that.
Okay, I do need to know, however, if you're going to be dipping into the Jesse Hughes fund at all for the things you're buying, because I need to keep track of this.
I mean, I think that we can all afford our own clothes except for Patan, apparently. So I would say Patan's clothes and probably whatever funds, whatever money we have to pay for like the firearms and shit. I don't really know where we ended up with that.
I'm
Yeah, pay
reluctant.
for Peyton, I guess. But
Yeah, Peyton for sure, but the firearm, those are your guns. It's
All right.
technically held.
shoot it off beside you.
So much money in this fund. It's like, God damn it, what else are we using it for?
It's $46,000, and you're like, we're not going to give up $7.50 so the lady can have some comfortable clothes.
No, we are.
No,
We're
yeah.
getting her some clothes. Yeah.
It's the
Do you
firearm.
know what the total is once we've paid everything out for this little part? Because I still have it down as 50K, and I don't think that's what it is.
No, it's $46,050. $46,050. 46050.
If we start treating money like it's infinite, it will run out way faster.
Well, you're spending $90 a night at the hotel.
I know.
I know.
And that's why you guys can't have your firearms.
I'll buy my own firearm.
That's why I like
Really?
Clyde.
That's all with me. I
Harrison,
set it up to here with you.
Harrison, you know I don't respect you.
I'm well aware of that fact. Thank you very much.
Just want to make sure we're all on the same page here.
Only something I didn't already know, you mean old bag.
Oh.
Next time, maybe get to know someone before you propose to them.
Wait, I read that you proposed to him.
Yeah, while drunk. Honestly, it's so embarrassing. I mean, my God. Can you believe it? This lady was just like, so much face off and marry me at once.
Why, I never
Believe it.
This
You guys
is
can make
slander.
you guys can make like super easy psychology checks to figure out that Harrison Dodge is lying.
I would like to make a super easy psychology check.
Yeah, but they won't. They won't. They won't do that.
I'm just like
won't do that.
numb to this, to Harrison
Well-
Dodge.
What a useless thing to get a crit success on.
Yeah.
Richard, Harrison Dodge is a very lonely man and needs to say these things and put them in his books. And
Now,
it's a bit sad. He's been through
Harrison.
a lot recently, especially after losing Norman, his good friend.
Now, Harrison, I've spent a lot of time looking at the brain, understanding psychology. You come across to me as a very lonely man, using these books and moments to grab the attention of those around you. Am I hitting it on the head right now?
Yeah, and simulate an existence that I'll never actually get. I mean, you picked this up perfectly, man.
The roast
I mean,
of Harrison Dodge.
Dr. Mason, I mean, I know that 90% of the books that you read are factual and perfectly accurate, but spoilers: Mark Hamill actually didn't travel in the Himalayas to win the love of a Yeti's daughter. That didn't actually happen, and I'm sorry for that. Little thing here called an imagination, and there's such thing as a fiction. No, sorry, a fact that borrows elements from fiction. And yeah, so I've been thinking about this a lot recently, Richard, especially after some of the conversations we've had, and I understand that I'm simply a cowardly man that writes about a person that he wishes to be, but he simply can't. So, do you have anything else that you want to talk about, or should I just go hang myself out the back?
I'm gonna like open up my arms, and be like, Harrison, do you need a hug?
Me too, man.
There, Harrison.
It's not your fault.
All right.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault, man.
You guys just
Not your
having
fault.
this heart to heart in like the stalls, like when you're buying clothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like over top of the different dressing rooms.
3 knives, please. I'll have all the knives.
All right. So now that that's over, who's all buying clothing for themselves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm.
As well.
Jesse,
that-
who
Is
Um,
everyone getting one set of clothes for the hot weather?
two. I think
Two.
we're all buying our own clothes, except we're using the Hughes Fund for Evan or for Peyton.
Okay.
Yeah.
So $15 for Peyton.
I thought you said 13.
It would be it's $7.50 per set of clothes.
Okay,
So if
I
she's
wrote
getting
down
2
more.
sets, it's 15.
Copy that.
God, I can't wait to get a bunch of targeted ads from Google about traveling to Cairo, Egypt.
Yeah. No kidding. Okay. So that's $15 that's going to come out of the Hughes Fund for Peyton. Is anything else going to come out of the Hughes Fund for today?
No, I'll cover my stuff.
Okay. Excellent. So, Clyde, looking around, you do eventually manage to find a somewhat shifty area where you're able to buy some bits and bobs of the explosive variety,
Mm.
of the firearm variety. What would you like to purchase, my good man?
I'm looking for a 44 Smith & Wesson to replace the one that I lost.
So, as an American gun, that's actually a little bit more tough to find over here. What you find are a lot of Webley revolvers, as that's the current service revolver for the British Empire. You find a few sawed-off shotguns.
I have curiosity. Do Derringers exist at this time?
They do. Yeah, Derringers are very existent.
Hell yeah.
Derringer.
One of those very, very small, like, I guess hooker pistols, like very, very tiny.
Yeah, they're Old West style muzzle loaders typically, that fit into like very small areas. They're popular with like gamblers in the Old West and stuff like that. Yeah, I actually have a stat block for a Derringer somewhere around here.
Pip will remember that.
I was about to say Pip's gun of choice.
So, Clyde, if you wish to purchase one of these Webley revolvers, you can do so.
So I can't find a 44.
Make a luck roll for me.
Success.
Success.
Hey-o. Shut up, Google.
I'm coming for you, Aaron.
I said heyo, and she thought I said, hey, Google. And it's like, go away.
Hmm.
And then she didn't even fucking hear that. So I was like, okay.
I was about to be like, she triggered again.
No. Like, as I was saying it, I was like, but no, my Google Nest has been stupid anyways. It, like, every night disconnects from Wi-Fi. I don't get it.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I have like a lot of Google stuff, and it's kind of trash, bro. I feel like they invest all of their resources in making sure they can listen to people's conversations and sell them ads, and that they actually do making people good at like a good service. I asked this piece of shit to list me all the Die Hard movies, and she absolutely insisted on listing the first 3, and there was no command in the world I could give her to get her to tell me the other 3. It made me enraged.
So 45 revolver will put you back $30, Clyde.
What about a 44?
The 44 Magnum revolver does not exist in the 1920s.
Okay, I guess I wrote 44 instead of 45 when I was doing my stat blocks.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you were using a 44 Magnum revolver, that would deal 1d10 plus 1d4 plus 2 damage for a total maximum of 16 damage.
Yeah, that's not what I have written down.
Yeah. You probably have 1d10 plus 2.
That's what I have written down. Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
you have a 45 revolver.
45. $30. No problem. At some point, I would like to stop at the bank and get some more cash.
You can certainly do that. Any other shopping anyone wants to do?
Pip will join Clyde in doing that. Is he needs more now.
Well, I don't have a weapon if things are gonna get dangerous.
Well, maybe you'll find one.
What did you bring?
I brought my Gertie, my lasso.
And a bag full of Werther's Originals.
Is Richard here?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna try to charm Richard into buying me a rifle.
Oh, for fuck's
I
sake.
can't believe it.
A
You guys-
rifle. Holy shit.
You guys have like 2 guns that no one else can use because fucking
Well, no one's
Leon and Norman were. Holy shit!
See, that's
Werther-
true. Honestly, what's your fucking Paton? I have a sniper rifle, which I'm gonna struggle to use as it is because I do not have a very good rifle firearm skill. I will just give you that. If you think you're a good shot, which I assume you're shooting gophers out on the range, then you probably will succeed with this weapon. How's that sound? How's that grab you?
My daddy used to get me to shoot armadillos off the road as we were driving down the highway going 120 kilometers per hour, which is probably impossible with the technology.
Like,
So they don't use
Damn.
kilometers to measure anything. I mean, I think you're very
My
well.
daddy-
that's a
Let me
big
rephrase
hill.
that.
American
All right,
girl
guys,
using a metric
guys, shut
system.
up, shut up! I'm doing the hard-hitting research that you need to know. Werther's Originals exist in 1925.
Good shit.
Introduced 1903.
Now, my daddy used to get me to
Also, the
shoot-
hard-hitting research that you also need to know: armadillos didn't reach Tennessee until 30 years ago.
So my daddy used to get me to shoot.
Armadillos weren't invented until 1948.
It's been
My
many
daddy used to
decades.
get me to shoot crows off the freaking windmill because they be shitting all over the place.
All right.
Yeah, that's a done deal. Paton, I'll donate you Leon's sniper. Treat it well, and I'll give you all the damage information later.
Okay.
The cursed sniper rifle.
Well,
Actually, it's like cursed, but also it made like the best shot, arguably, of the entire campaign.
It's one
The
shot
shotgun. Isn't the shotgun cursed? Not the.
The shotgun might be cursed, yeah.
I think the shotgun's cursed because Leon died right after buying the shotgun, not after. Like he's had the rifle the whole time.
I mean, that shotgun killed that one cultist really quickly, though, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
Leon died.
And the
Yeah.
lizard. I think. Yes.
I think the lizard was killed with Norman's shotgun. I think Norman used his double barrel.
Oh, was that a different shotgun? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So right. So that's an important point of clarification. You guys no longer have Leon's shotgun. That was confiscated by the authorities. You have Leon's sniper and Norman's double barrel shotgun.
The only
So
thing
now
left of
Pey-
our friends.
yeah. Yeah. So Peyton now has Leon's Springfield,
Sick.
and Harrison has Norman's shotgun.
Peyton, do you feel comfortable with a gun such as that? It's a lot to handle.
Oh, I've seen my fair share of guns in my days, Ruth. Don't you worry.
I don't
Okay.
understand. All right, go ahead.
So Peyton, the range of the Springfield M1903 rifle is 110 yards. It can fire 1 shot per round. It has a capacity of 5. It does 2d6 plus 4 for damage. And it malfunctions on a 99 or a 100 on the D100.
Okay.
All right. Pip went along to purchase a firearm, or was at least there. Are you looking for a gun, Pip?
No, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Okay. And Harrison, you went along as well, didn't you? Were you looking for a gun?
Keeper of Arcane Secrets. It's interesting that you say that because I was just gonna let it go, but I actually wouldn't mind buying like a handgun because I just figured like, okay, I'm loaded. I've got 2 long-range weapons, but I don't have any investment in my rifle shotgun skill, and it would feel pretty wasteful considering I actually have a decent handgun skill. So yes, I would really like to buy a handgun.
Any particular style that you're looking for?
Well, I mean, I had a Smith and Wesson before, but it sounds like that might not be as easy to find. So they've got the standard issue revolver that the British Army used. Do they have
Yes.
because revolvers only have 6 rounds in them, right? Before you have to reload.
Yes.
Is there any pistol that has more rounds in it?
The Colt 45 automatic, the 1911 has 7. So that might be slightly that might be difficult to find though. That's an American firearm.
All right, dude, I got to roll up.
The Mauser, the German Mauser pistol.
Ooh.
Those that has a capacity of 10.
Listen, the 1911 has saved me from landing immediately in the gulag a great many times. That is my weapon of choice.
It's
Okay, I need you to make
pistol.
I need you to make a luck roll to find it.
I honestly thought you were gonna pick the Colt 45 just because of the song.
Oh, not too. I just heard Colt 45. I was like, I know that.
Colt 45 with 2 zigzags.
Okay. My dice rolled under my PS5. Stand by. I need to retrieve it. Fuck,
I
I'm
thought you
not
said
roll.
my dice rolled under my penis. I was like,
Sorry, it's gonna be wrong. I gotta. Okay. Good roll, Matthew. Do we roll over or under for luck?
Under for luck.
Sorry, my roll activated as well. Yeah, I failed the luck roll.
You cannot find a Colt 45 or a
Zigzags.
Mauser.
Okay. Wait, I
you
can't find a Mauser either?
No, if you got really good on your luck roll, I was like, I'm gonna give him a fucking Mauser. That'd be fucking sick.
So what can I get?
You can buy a Webley revolver. You can get a 38 caliber Webley revolver, which is a smaller caliber, and the chamber can hold 8 shots, but it does less damage.
I'll get one of those. I mean, I still have the shotgun, so I'll get one of those bad boys.
So that is 1d10 for damage. Has a range of 15 yards.
Yeah.
Malfunctions on a 97 to 100.
Yeah.
What else do you need?
Attacks and ammo. You said 8 for or
it can have 8 in a single clip chamber.
so that's ammo, and then attacks is probably just 1, right?
1 without penalty dice, 3 maximum per round.
Okay. So I probably just write like 1 to 3, right?
Yeah, 1 and then put 3 in brackets next to the 1.
Okay.
Excellent. And that will cost you $50.
$50. If I only have $35 cash, can I just dip into my assets?
Technically, yes.
Okay. Can I also dip into my assets to replenish my cash?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Remember, your assets usually include things that you own, so you might have to sell off like potentially valuable things, or you might have to like make wire transfers and stuff like that, which I'm kind of hand waving all of that because that doesn't really help the campaign at all. So
Yeah,
you can
sell
dip into
that apartment in New York.
So yes.
Okay.
Or
In
you
one
can dip
session
into,
where you're just doing taxes.
You can dip into the Jesse Hughes Fund. You have as much access to it as anyone else. You are one of the 3 remaining members of the party who knew Jackson Elias.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'll just pay it out of pocket, bro. I'm kind of fucking loaded, all right? I'm a famous author. I took home a whole bunch of treasure from the Peru adventure. I got cash for days, my boy.
Excellent.
Should watch the new
Okay.
gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
So, despite everything, we're only using $15 of the Jesse Hughes fund.
I was gonna say, Jack, I like that. Like you're constantly like, remember, you have this. You can use it.
You have $46,000 that you can use however you like. We're gonna get.
1920s.
You guys are playing it like it's a fucking like video game where it's like, well, what if I need this gold later? And
Listen,
you get to
there's
the end
gonna
of the
be
game.
some legendary fucking armor at the end of the game, and I'm on it.
Yeah,
No,
and as my role model Wiz Khalifa once said, when you die, you can't take it with you. So
Deep. Holy shit! I didn't consider that.
bang, 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 bang.
You didn't consider
Except-
that when you die, you can't bring it with you?
I thought I could. I thought it's like New Game Plus.
Yeah,
Oh,
except
good point.
except you're also not spending it, so I don't know what your point is there. Wiz Khalifa would want you to spend the Jesse Hughes fund by that
Yep.
logic.
That's true. True.
Just you wait.
Okay.
It's gonna come in handy one day. We're gonna bribe someone with like $1,000.
The money's in a bank account in America that you have to send receipts to be reimbursed for.
They'll take us at our word.
We like a powerful politician. She's like, hey, can you give us a receipt?
Yeah.
So far, the only thing you've spent money on is some rich guy's books and traveling around the world.
Yeah, it seems appropriate.
You're
That's
so
it. I need
stingy
some
that you wouldn't even reimburse your own colleague after you crashed his car.
We hardly knew him at that point.
I was out of principle.
We're doing
So-
out of principle.
We don't know you. We're not just gonna use our money supply.
Yeah, but your colleague wrecked my car.
I like
Okay,
how
well,
you've known him longer than you.
Out of principle, you should have
At this
said
point,
you shouldn't
Norman's
speak
been
of the dead like that.
Norman's been dead. You probably know Richard longer than you knew Norman at this point.
I mean, you knew Norman since
Peru.
1921,
Oh,
but
I
like you didn't see. Did you see Norman
Oh,
in all
no.
in those 4 years?
No, absolutely
You,
not.
you met this crazy old man. You met this crazy old man in Peru. Then you met him again in New York 4 years later. He tossed your friend's corpse out a window, and 3 weeks later he was dead.
He made an
Yeah.
impression.
Yeah. He really changed me as a person, though.
You know,
but Richard's not new in any regards. Richard's an OG as much as the rest of you now.
anyways, on that note,
At the time, though, he was new.
it's 10 o'clock. That is a good place to wrap it up. Very interesting session. We got a big lore dump. We got some good
Yeah.
leads. We
I
did some
feel like-
shopping.
I feel like throughout the whole rest of the campaign, I have not even come close to understanding what's going on as I have after this session.
Thoughts are connecting.
This is
Yeah.
my first time I took notes on OneNote for this campaign.
Is it
I ran out of space on the back of my sheet. / I got very pissed off and realized how nice it was in D&D that we've been doing that I have notes on my computer.
Mm.
So now that's what I'm doing.
That's a great idea. I can't believe I haven't thought to use OneNote at all this whole time.
I have
Dude, OneNote
notes
is awesome.
open. I have so many OneNotes.
I have my lore
Yeah.
book.
Yeah. I keep tabs of the sessions, and then I use OneNote for D&D, but I can't bring myself to use OneNote for Call of Cthulhu just because I'd be like jumping between all the PDFs plus the physical books and everything like that. So I jot stuff down when I need to over here, but I'm bad at taking notes. But on that note,
Aha.
we are going to call it for the night. Thank you, as always, for joining us for Call of Cthulhu, Masks of Nyarlathotep. Now you have an idea of that name and its
Mhm.
importance. It's finally, maybe the pieces are being stitched together after almost a full year of playing this campaign.
Just need to find a mask.
Yeah.
Or set.
We already
We
have
You
a
do
mask.
have,
Yeah.
you
Oh
have
yeah,
a mask.
true. We're golden.
Put it on
That's
the Dark Pharaoh. That's how you beat
Yeah,
the
no-
game.
We literally just need to find Yeah, you. That's the one person I will support you trying to put the mask on, Clyde.
My God, I just imagine flashbacks to like we've got him incapacitated. We think the fight is won. We decide to put the mask on him. He just grows massive in size. Tentacles come out of his face. Giant wings come out of his back. We're like, this wasn't a very good decision.
Secret boss.
He must be tripping right now.
That's how I felt after killing Princess Shroom and Mario and Luigi Partners in Time.
What the fuck?
The thing you've been spending the whole game collecting ends up being your downfall in that very moment, and then it gets real.
What game is this?
Super Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. It's only the best RPG Mario game, and I don't want to fucking hear you Superstar Saga simps.
Superstar Saga's better.
I'll kill you.
I like Paper Mario.
It's been a long time since I played Superstar Saga. Maybe someday I'll revisit those games.
Like,
The remake
Mario
on the 3DS was
series
phenomenal.
and Paper Mario series basically have the same gameplay, but they're just like one's paper and one's got black eyes.
And one's got Luigi in it every time.
Luigi's
Mario.
Mansion.
God.
Well, actually, Paper Mario is different, as it's more of an RPG because you actually get to collect characters. Whereas
And we
Mario-
welcome back
Mario
the
and
Live
Luigi-
Connection podcast.
Anyways, Masks of Nyarlathotep. It's been fun. Thank you for joining us. Peter, hit the fucking button.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
So
And
I
welcome to the Dead Connection